What is this executive order? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Look, we've got to be thinking 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years ahead. At the same time, we're focusing on the immediacy, which is life, safety, and property. And so that's exactly what we're doing with disaster assistance, making sure people are getting their applications, addressing the issue of fraud. And that's an issue we've got to address. Price gouging. So executive orders on price gouging, recovery. We want to get inspections, units like this. We want to get our inspection teams out here. They're already starting to get out here. We've come up with some timelines so we can get within the next few weeks all that done so people can get their insurance claims. We can then start the big contracts to remove the debris, to address all the hazmat issues. Same time as I got to button up the canyons here as it relates to potential flooding of a lot of atmospheric rivers. Remember, we're in the middle of winter. This is January. In fact, the day of this fire, not a stone's throw away, it's a crow flies, there was snow right up the mountain here, same day as this devastating fire here in Altadena. And so all those things have to happen concurrently. But here's the big thing. I'm worried about issues of rebuilding as it relates to scarcity, as it relates to property taxes, meaning scarcity of resources, materials, personnel. I'm worried about time to getting these projects done. And so we want to fast track by eliminating any CEQA requirements. I got Coastal Act changes that we're making. I want to make sure when someone rebuilds that they have their old property tax assessments and that they're not increased. So all of that's been done in the executive order we just announced.
CEQA, Governor, and the Coastal Act are both environmental regulations. And if you're going to be suspending those temporarily, are you concerned about problems that may result from the suspension of those environmental regulations and a potential abuse by developers?
Yeah, we're not going to, and within this executive order, we frame those abuses.
Can you imagine that they're talking about as concerns potential abuses by developers in the executive order, which is years in the future? This is such a classic bait and switch in terms of don't look over there, look at this executive order that's going to help you in the years to come, when there's not water in the fire hydrants right now. And I made a joke like, man, he should have just signed an executive order that fire hydrants should produce water. I'm going to play it out because it's classic. This is an iteration of Parkinson's law of mundanity. Here, let's just play this
basically out. Bookmark that in the context of maintaining the existing footprints. The Coastal Act, they allow just a 10% variant. So we're going to be very mindful of that. California leads the nation in environmental stewardship. I'm not going to give that up. But one thing I won't give into is delay. Delay is denial for people. Lives, traditions, places, torn apart, torn asunder, families, schools, community centers, churches. You've seen it. The number of schools that have been lost in this community, and we've got to let people know we have their back. We're going to be back. We're going to do it efficiently and effectively. Don't turn your back. Don't walk away because we want you to come back, rebuild with higher quality standards, more modern standards. We want to make sure that the associated costs with that are not disproportionate.
They should have signed an executive order that there should be water in the fire hydrants. I'm not going to play the entire thing. I just want to play the beginning, but also highlight that someone actually posted this unironically saying there's no way you can listen to Gavin Newsom explain the situation and say he is incompetent. I thought the person was going to say, you're right, he's a criminal. The recovery will be long, but he gets that. It's about life, safety, and prosperity. This person was not saying that he's not incompetent to add the humor, he's a criminal or criminally negligent. And like, how can anyone be so intellectually stunted? And then I saw that this person is a DNC delegate, which explained everything. I'm going to play just the first
middle class community like this.
Here.
You're here with us on Meet the Press to announce a new executive order. What is this executive order? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Pause it. We don't need to listen to this. You're here on Meet the Press to announce a new executive order. What are you going to do in the years to come to make sure that you can solve the crisis of your making today? And he's talking about price gouging and removing the red tape to rebuild so they can get inspectors to go inspect the rubble behind him. It's absolutely criminally negligent. I'm going to get Barnes's take on this, but no water in the fire hydrants. Mark Grobert was on yesterday, and one of our locals members and one of our community members who sends me a lot of good stuff sent me this guy. I forget this guy's name. I should give him the credit. A 35-minute explanation as to what went down in California.
Now for the heart of the controversy.
Yeah, listen to
the
this.
Firefighters ran out of water After battling the flames for about 15 hours, LA's fire hydrants ran dry. Now they have 3 1 million gallon reserve tanks up high with just gravity feed for pressure to power their hydrants. And that ran out after about 15 hours. Now, 3 million gallons of water is actually not that much. But here's the problem. This is the Santa Ynez Reservoir.
117
Right
million
here, okay?
gallons of water.
This holds 117 million gallons. That means that this could have refilled those 3 1 million gallon tanks over 30 times. And guess what? This was out of operation. And this reservoir has been empty since February 2024, nearly a year.
We can pause it there. Why was it empty? Because there was a tear in the covering, which was allowing stuff to get into the water. So maybe it wouldn't be fit for human consumption. And it was a mild repair, out of commission for a year, 1 mile as the crow flies from the fires. Jokes aside, Gavin Newsom should have just issued an executive order last year that fire hydrants shall produce water during times of an emergency.